Good morning, garden friends. Today is prep day for the arbor that Kevin is going to be building over this patio area to help me create a romantic courtyard. But in order to be prepared and pretty much be out of his way, there's some things in the garden that I want to get cleaned up, trimmed back, and one major thing that I am going to be working on is based off of some of the ideas for my romantic garden. One suggestion was to move the gravel. Okay, now that is definitely going to be a time-consuming activity, but I figure if I can get at least this section done when Kevin goes to start working on the arbor, I won't be in his way, and then I can work on the outskirts. But what I'm going to be doing today is I'm getting all of my roses trimmed back and de-leaf so that they got a fresh start. Let me show you. I'll turn the camera around because I do believe it's a good suggestion to remove gravel, because I do think it's having an impact on the items that I do have in this garden area. So let me turn the camera around and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so I have some ferns over here, and as you can see, you see how they're like brown. These are evergreens. I forget what the name of them are. Now, you know, I need to do a better job of that. I thought I put a stick down for the name of them, but I'll look it up and I'll put what it is. Now it's like 11:30, and as you see, the sun isn't really over here, and that is part of my thinking that the gravel is holding heat, because I got two more back here. This one here and this one here is not the evergreens, but like I said, I'll put the names of them up. But I think if we end up moving all of this gravel from over here, look how my Helen Von Steens are, and my lemon coral sedum. Okay, usually in early spring this looks absolutely gorgeous, but in the heat of summer it shrivels up and ends up burning. So that's going to be one of the things that I'm going to do, is I'm going to try to get most of it up before I move the gravel. And all I'm going to do is, for this area, see if I can push it back towards that way and push it back further up there. Now, I don't think we're going to get it all, but I do think if I get most of it, it will allow other plants that, based off of you guys' ideas and recommendations, so keep those coming, please. I'm loving this. It'll allow it to be successful. And then that rose that's in the pot, I'm going to also get that moved out. So, like I said, the first thing I'm going to do is get these rose bushes cut back so I can maneuver in here with cleaning up the lemon coral sedum and getting the gravel pushed back. Now I'm gonna end up cutting these guys back really, really hard. These are knockout roses. Both of these are pink. All three of them actually are pink. The yellow one I've moved out because I'm gonna put that elsewhere in the garden. And then this is the thing, guys, with roses, especially when you're gonna be clipping, make sure you get the rose protecting gloves that are made out of leather, so you don't end up getting pricked. So like I said, I'm gonna just do a really hard cut so that I have room to be able to get the pot out and then start digging up the lemon coral sedum, and then I'll put that in a pot until I decide where I'm going to put that elsewhere in the garden. So, and this is the thing, you know, while we've been having freezing weather, you know, cutting these guys back is not going to hurt them. Plus, we're supposed to be getting a break in the below freezing temperatures, which is nice, because I don't know about you guys, but when it's below, while I can handle the cooler weather, you know, that's just unreasonable, you know, to be trying to work out in the garden, taking care of things and staying on top of the maintenance of it. So, but let me go ahead, get this cut back, get all these little spindly branches to where it has some uniformity, you know, to it, because it's looking kind of crazy. I'm going to try to make sure anything that's crossing over, that I'm getting those branches, because that truly assists in you not having to deal with any type of disease. Yeah, there's a lot of branches that are crossing over, so this is going to be a really hard cut. And then I do think when you end up making sure you got nice air circulation, you know, that ends up helping, you know, the roses from, you know, getting black spots and what have you, because I normally do not have any issues with that with my roses. And one of the things that I'm doing is I'm making sure on the stem, right above where I cut it, the bud is coming out. That way, that helps alleviate any type of congestion inside here. Okay guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get these 3 roses knocked out, get back on. Probably the next thing I'll end up doing is going ahead and digging up the lemon coral sedum, the Helen Von Steen lamb's ear. I might leave the ferns in the ground, but just get the gravel moved. So, but I'll get back on once I get the roses trimmed back. Okay, so I got my roses all trimmed back and de-leaf. Now I'm gonna take the blower to this area after I get the lemon coral sedum dug up. But look at this, guys. Okay, so this rose that was in the pot, the root had come through the hole, and there it is right there. Now I'm gonna cut it back, but I do know one of my roses on the side garden had a little shoot off of it and it grew. So you know what, if it grows, it grows. I'm not gonna worry about it. But now it is time for me to go ahead and see what I can do about getting these guys up. I mean, as you can see, they are already coming loose, and that's because I was stepping on them. I may not get all of them, but I think I'm just going to get what I can out of here and then start pushing the gravel away from everything after I blow it, because I don't want the leaves, I want to be able to get all those leaves that are down inside there, make sure that that's nice and clean, and then go ahead and pull up the Helen Von Steen lambs here. I'm just going to take that out of there too. So let me go and get a container so I can see what of these I can salvage. And if not, just go ahead and start blowing this out and then start moving the rocks. And now with this happening, I think this rose has grown out of this pot. So I think I'm going to need to figure out where to plant this rose bush in my garden. So I'll figure that out, because yeah, it definitely needs to come out of the pot. Okay, I think this is going to be a tedious process. And like I said, I know I'm probably not going to get all the roots, but I want to be able to get majority of them. Thank goodness the ground is soft. As much of them as I can, and then get these guys in a pot, because you see this will end up growing something. So I'm gonna just go ahead and slowly but surely get these guys as much of the root that I can out before I bring over the rake. And what I might do is take the blower after I get the leaves out and see if that will help push the rocks so it won't be so time consuming of me having to shovel these rocks out of here. See if I can blow them with the blower, because the blower is pretty high powered. Okay guys, I am gonna go ahead and pick these out of here, then get the blower, get these leaves blown out, and then let's see how well the blower does for at least moving maybe that top layer of these rocks. All right, so I got most of the lemon coral sedum out. I pulled out the Helen Von Steen lamb's ear out. Guys, you know what? I ain't gonna lie. I took the blower to see what I could do. And we apparently put the gravel heavy on this area. And while the ideal to move this gravel is good, I don't think I am physically equipped to do this, okay, in this area, seeing that it is very, very thick over here. So I'm going to have to improvise, because one of the things that I am going to do, because I do believe the rocks are impacting the ferns, is I'm going to go ahead, dig these guys up and put them inside pots over here in this gravel area. I cannot do it. I know my limitations, and go that route to where over in this area, definitely have my staples of my roses over here. And if there are things that I can plant that it's going to be okay with the gravel around it, we'll leave it. But I'm going to try to have this maybe like a a potted up bed where I'm using pots to add color, texture, and also height in this garden. I cannot do this, you know. So, and then if you look at it from the angle, you can see right down there. I mean, it's deep as far as how thick we put this. The other areas, I probably will be able to do it, at least get that top layer off, and then us put soil in it, because that lip is thick enough over there. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is the bed I'm talking about over here, to where I think I can move the gravel, get my what is that? My creeping Jenny, because apparently this area is too hot for it. While it is dying back like it's supposed to. Springtime, it looks absolutely gorgeous, but summer, it's all crispy. So I think that's what I'm gonna have to do. You know, that's the one thing about gardening. You gotta be able to improvise. All right, guys, like I said, had to improvise because the gravel is really thick in this area. But I think having the ferns inside the barrels will allow it to hopefully stay a lot cooler. And then I think with the pink roses flanking it, that will look really nice. And then whatever other plants that recommendations are offered to put in here. And then I still have 2 more of the ferns that I needed 2 more pots that I'm gonna put those in. But yeah, this turned out really nice. And then I have this is a climbing fig. I just recently cut it back because the cold was doing a number on it, but I'm happy. You know, I like that nice uniform look, and this will do for now until I get things blooming in here. Guys, that's gardening for you. You can have the best laid out plan, and a monkey wrench or reality will sink in. I'm really happy with how it is turning out. And like I said, once we get those suggestions in this garden bed and throughout this area, I think it's going to look really, really nice. Well, thank you again for visiting Inspiring Garden Corner. And like I said, this is the beginning stages of creating a beautiful, romantic courtyard.